all the trouble he's purposely tried to create to distract from the Russian collusion story that has continued to go on. Investigations continue to go on, and more things keep bubbling to the surface all the time, especially with his dear friend, General Flynn, who he appointed as the top security officer in this country, and had to fire because he lied. I don't believe that was the reason. I don't believe he lied to little Mike Pence. Or he lied to the vice president. Had to be fired. I believe this administration knew exactly who Mike Flynn was, knew his connections to Russia, to the Ukraine, to Turkey, and all his foreign agent money-taking and dirty dealings over there. They knew it all. And that's why they said, you're the man for us. Notice all the people who are around him have all connections to Russia. He purposely sought out these people because he needed Russia's help. A deal was cut with Russia to help him get elected. He knew it would be a tough sell. He's a jerk. At the end of the day, he must know, I'm a pretty big jerk. I'm a jerk to people, jerk to women, jerk to the people who work for me. It's going to be a hard sell. And have a long history with a lot of skeletons in the closet. It's going to be tough to sell. Especially I need to get religious people believing in me, because that's the religious party, Republican Party. So I'm going to need outside help. So he tried to find a lot of people who had connections and dealings, so he didn't have to be directly involved, but they could be involved in Russia and how they were going to help him. Collusion. And Mike Flynn, big time connections. There is a ward there in Russia, and there are pictures of him sitting at some dinner in a ward sitting right next to Vladimir Putin, laughing it up, yucking it up. Tight with Russia. Tight with Vladimir Putin. Doesn't see him as an enemy or a rival even, but as a friend, a buddy, a partner. And that's why, explicitly why Trump sought out Michael Flynn. It wasn't that, gee, we didn't know. That's how he tries to make it sound like, I didn't know. He worked in the government as a general, and he worked with Obama. And Obama was president for 8 years. He was supposed to vet him. Why are you looking at me? I'm supposed to vet him and find out all these things. Because Flynn didn't put down on his form when he applied for the job to be hired. And there's a lot of lines to fill out, and it's very simple to understand. He can't plead ignorance about it. He did not put down that he worked as a foreign agent, received foreign money from Russia and Turkey. This is lying. This guy could be indicted, and the FBI is looking into him, and the Pentagon is investigating him, and of course in Congress, but you don't expect anything to happen there. They're going to brush it under the rug. But, of course, who's to blame as far as Donald Trump is? The black guy.
I do feel badly for him. He served the country. He was a general. But just remember, he was approved by the Obama administration at the highest level.
Not my fault.
And when they say we didn't vet, well, Obama, I guess, didn't vet.
Blame the black guy. He was okay for him, so I figured he's okay for me. Blame it on Obama. Blame it on the black guy. Not my fault. He should have found he was a bad guy and had all these connections. No. He knows Michael Flynn, feels sorry for Michael Flynn, has always said, hey, this has been a witch hunt. Michael Flynn's a good guy. There's nothing there. Well, yes, there is something there. Now, Michael Flynn is a big jerk with a capital J. Okay? People say that he's a bigger jerk than Donald Trump, bigger ego than Donald Trump. If you can believe it. But that's what they say. He wasn't a great general. Listen, the military is just like any other sector of life. You have really good people who are dedicated and have a heart for the job. It is a job. It is a career. It's serving the country, but it is a career. And you have some people who are very dedicated, even patriotic, And that's the reason why they signed up. But then you have people who are just jerks and egotists and out for their own, and they really don't care about anything, the country or anybody, or they just want what they want, and it's usually money. And that was Michael Flynn. And he knew he was a big jerk, and he knew he had these connections. And that's exactly why he hired him. He was the right man for the inside job. Michael Flynn was campaigning for him. Michael Flynn led the charge on the campaign trail, getting the yokels to chant, "Lock her up, lock her up, lock her up." Now maybe lock him up, because now he's under scrutiny, and many legal minds have said he has broken the law, and he could be prosecuted and go to jail. Now somebody who's so into, the only thing that matters is himself, and his lawyer already asked for immunity and said he has a story to tell. Donald Trump's got to be a bit worried. He tried distraction. He spent $90 million in bombs. The public and the media hasn't worked. Now this week he says we could get into a major conflict with Korea there. Yeah, it's very possible. We could have a major conflict. Major. Not just one major conflict. He's talking about war. What is it? Major. What, flipping each other the bird or something? What's the major conflict? He's talking about war. And not just major. So that's nuclear war. That is what he's threatening. That's the code. Donald Trump wants to say stuff, but he wants to say it in code-type language so he could back away from it and say, that's not what I meant. Of course that's what you meant. Now, is he trying to back down Kim Jong-un? Trying to act like the tough guy? Let's see if he flinches. Let him know that I'm not afraid. Go toe-to-toe and shoot off a few nukes. Or is he serious? We don't know. He's an unstable individual. And if $90 million of conventional bombs bought him a few weeks of distraction, what will a full major-out war there in the Korea Peninsula, right off next to China there, off the coast of China there, what will that do? Well, throw the whole world into chaos and a fear of existence, because that could tick off a World War III. There's a lot of talk about World War III now. I've been reading on the internet sites what to do if a nuclear bomb goes off in your area. Not to run, but hunker down and, shelter in space, in place. Get as many layers between you and the ceiling of whatever building you are. Get down below ground if you can. It penetrates whatever lands on your roof. Will penetrate down, but the more layers it has to go, solid layers it has to go through, the less chance it gets to you. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about that now. Because we realize Kim Jong-un is never going to give up his nuclear arsenal. Never. Read it. Read my lips. Never. He is not going to make some deal for some financial benefits. He's not going to. This is his security. He's a very insecure individual, and he figures this is the only way he keeps power, by keeping people fearful of him and what he might do. So you don't call him out on it and say, hey, gonna flinch? Huh? Because he'll take it serious. Will Donald Trump pull the trigger to distract? There's three